Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now, this is a PC that I found on the Facebook Marketplace. It started off at £150, but after a couple of days it got reduced to just £20, and of course I had to go and buy it. Now, the seller described it as a computer that would sometimes turn on, so I thought we'd give it a purchase, bring it home, and then see what was wrong with it, and of course check out what is inside, because the specs, as of yet, are still a mystery to me. So yeah, let's take a couple of shots, clean it up a little bit, see if it switches on, first of all, and then go from there. So, first things first, and it was off with the side panel. My advice before messing around with the insides of a used PC is to turn it on before doing anything else. That way you know if it works or not. But this PC was particularly filthy, so I thought that a quick clean with an air duster was in order beforehand.
Why?
I bought this CompuCleaner electric air duster on Amazon recently because at £60 it made more sense than buying 3 or 4 canned air dusters every month. It's ideal for someone like me who often has to deal with super dusty machines. I should state that this video is not sponsored. I just wanted to let you guys know where I got this and why, as you've probably not seen it on the channel before. Dust plays a bigger part than some may think when it comes to causing PC related issues, especially if the CPU fan is clogged up with it like this one. This could have been the reason why the seller said the PC sometimes worked, as it might have been overheating almost instantly and then switching off. This thing is great for loose dust and thick dust, but surface dirt can be wiped off with a microfiber cloth and takes a little bit longer, of course. An electric duster like this just makes things a bit quicker and means that you don't feel as dirty after cleaning what could be years worth of someone else's dirt. With our system cleaned up a little bit, it was time to investigate the specifications, starting with the small form factor PSU. This unit is half the size of most desktop PSUs I've seen. I've never heard of the brand either, but it's a 500 watt unit, so it should be fine for our components here, especially as the GPU needs no external power. But what is it? Leave a comment guessing what you think, and then check back later in the video to see if you got it right. Now, what I will say is that I like the tiny dual fan design, and googling the serial number gave us no details, so I'd have to wait until we turned it on to find out. The MS7592 board supports 775 processors after looking it up, so I was hopeful that we'd have a Core 2 Quad or something like that in here to increase resale value, or give us some sort of resale value in the first place. Whatever was underneath this stock Intel fan was paired with 3GB of low profile memory. I like this half height stuff, it's great for smaller builds, and it's sometimes cheaper, though in recent years it hasn't seemed to make much difference. I keep most of the RAM I find in these old PCs because it's always handy to have some spare for emergencies. Ask any tech YouTuber and they'll probably tell you that they have a box or a bag of memory stashed somewhere as well. A 500GB SATA hard drive is also a nice inclusion, and we've even got some more dust for free. 500GB is still a nice starting point for a cheap PC build, though aiming for a terabyte in a custom system is always better, especially as some games now take up way over 100GB each. I miss the days when a 10GB game was considered huge. It's always nice getting a DVD drive as well, and I tend to keep these just because, well, you never know when you want to put together a retro build or move somewhere where the internet's so bad that you need to buy games on disc. So plugging it in and firing up went pretty smoothly, and I experienced no issues. The system was pretty loud, which I think was mainly down to the noise from the power supply. The 2-fan graphics card was also very quiet, almost inaudible in fact. Windows was set to a different language, and if any of my international viewers could tell me which, I'd be very interested to know. Luckily, from just knowing where to go in Windows 7, I was able to find the device manager pretty quickly, which revealed the Pentium E5800 dual-core CPU and GT430 graphics card. This was a sub $100 GPU back in 2010, so I can't imagine it's up to much in 2020, especially in combination with a 2-core CPU and 3 gigs of RAM. For £20 though, and local collection, I can't really complain, and I might be able to squeeze a small profit from the individual parts. When it came to gaming, the dual-core Pentium and GT 430 managed to pull off playable frame rates in CSGO at 720p, we were exceeding 30 FPS most of the time, and in some instances hitting 60. A faster CPU would be ideal here, and we'll be testing the power of the GT 430 at the end of the video when paired with a Ryzen 5 3600 and 16 gigs of DDR4. It is a DX11 card though, so even games like Skyrim Special Edition will run, though they won't run all too well. 30 FPS isn't entirely impossible in emptier areas, and again, for the price, the experience isn't disastrous. For me, buying these machines and putting the insides into new cases or updating them and selling them on is great fun, as not only can I make a small profit, but I can ensure that the PC is going to someone who wants it in proper working condition and not on the verge of overheating. Even if it is best suited to the classics, I'm sure someone will get some good use out of it, and it's always exciting to see what's inside these often unwanted setups. So let's turn our attention to the graphics card, the miniature dual-fan GT 430, a 1GB DDR3 GPU that has no place in modern gaming. Can it perform a bit better when paired with more powerful hardware, i.e. the Ryzen 5 and 16 gigs of RAM? Well, let's roll some benchmarks and I'll let you be the judge. I'll check back in a couple of minutes. So there we go. Buying random secondhand PCs without knowing the specs is always a gamble, but I certainly find it fun and I hope you enjoy watching. Remember, I do this as a hobby and as a job, I guess, so I can absorb any losses on reselling the actual hardware. If you're a serious buyer and you come across a cheap PC, make sure you know the specs inside and out before buying, and remember to research them to ensure that they meet your needs. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it down below. This has been another mystery spec machine. If you dislike the video, then leave a dislike down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one.